Hi, YCharters. Brian Adams here for another episode of YCharts 101. Here we're going to be talking about taking an idea and turning it into a positive outcome for you and your clients. And we're going to hop right into it because we got a lot to cover here. If you haven't seen this, under our support dropdown, our team puts together a great collection of articles through our blog. And I always come here at the end of a month to check out the monthly market wrap for some good ideas. In the March version, as we come down through the article, our first chart that you're going to see is talking about the trend in growth versus value. Obviously, one that's being talked a lot in the media amongst your peers. And the thing to note here is that if this is an interesting chart underneath, you can click this modify in YCharts, and it's going to bring you straight into the platform. This is where you can interact with the chart. So top right, you can take it out of presentation view. We're looking at a year-to-date basis. If we want to see the longer-term trend, flip it to 3-year, for example. Obviously, growth outpacing, pretty significantly here. Again, on a year-to-date basis, we see that flip where the purple line is your value, and pretty good separation there, actually. So as we think about this, one of your action items might be, let's target some value funds and dig into this trend a little bit further. To do that, I'm going into our fund screener through our tools dropdown. I'm going to look at a couple of different things here. Number one, I'm going into the value category. So top modify filter. Under category name, you have your US fund categories. Scroll down alphabetically to find my large value. Submit that filter. And then the next one I'm going to think about is active versus passive funds. And I want to see where the money is going. So to identify our passive funds, I'm using our attributes filter, and you'll see index fund here on the right. So now we're looking at all large value index funds, and the metric I'm using is going to be fund flows on a year-to-date basis. So I'm just type searching that in and using our rank filter to just apply the top 5 results that fit that metric. And so now you'll see within these results, no surprise really, that Vanguard Value ETF capturing a lot of the flows over the year-to-date time period. So I'm going to open that up, and we're going to go through, take a look at the underlying holdings here for an even deeper dive. So on the holdings tab within the ETF, all you have to do here is save this as a watch list, and then we can interact with it a little bit further, some of the other different tools. And I'm going to do the same thing, a quick flip here, going back to our screen. On the index fund filter, if we just flip that to exclude, that's actually going to give me all of the actively managed funds not tied to the index. We see that Neuberger Berman large cap value fund come to the top. Again, in terms of flows over the year-to-date period. I'm going to do the same thing. Go into the holdings, save that as a watch list, and now we can go take those two and see where the intersection of underlying holdings exists. So to do that, within the comp table, so I went tools and comp table, in my list, going to my list under watch list, we now have those holdings for Neuberger, and we have those holdings for the Vanguard fund. And I'm taking the intersection of the two, so that's going to give me the 5 names that both of those ETFs hold. And from here, we can break those down a little bit further if you want. So one way to do that is going to be browsing our metrics. Got popular metrics at the top. I'm thinking about some of the fundamentals, so I might take PE ratio when we go into that category, a few others of interest, price to sales, profit margin. Let's take market cap, price to book. Just an example of a menu of metrics that we might apply to those individual names. And from there, you can continue doing your analysis. But great example of how we're going through the blog for an idea, the fund screener to target a few off of the most money moving into those funds, and then getting down into the weeds on the individual holdings. That's it for now on YCharts 101. Thanks a lot for your time.